All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where the Nepalese government, it appears, is pretty much on the brink of collapse as the conflict over the Millennium Cooperation Compact grants continues. And this, of course, is a bit of a tussle between the various political factions of the five-party coalition. The political flashpoint is over the MCC Nepal Compact, with the leftists within the coalition refusing to soften their stand against the grant. The Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba had to backtrack on his plans to table the $500 million fund proposal in the parliament after the coalition failed to find common ground earlier. Now, Prime Minister Deuba remains pretty adamant that he'll introduce the grant in the parliament anyway. And the coalition is all set to meet next on the 20th of February to discuss the issue further. While Deuba's party, the Nepali Congress, has reiterated that there are no strings attached to the compact, so the parliament must endorse it. Two key coalition partners, the Communist Party of Nepal and the Maoist Centre and the CPN Unified Socialists, have been opposing it in its current form. They've been pushing for amendments. The Nepalese Prime Minister met with the main opposition leader KP Sharma Oli to garner support for the MCC grant. The two met last night to discuss the details of the grant and again early in the morning today as Deuba is exploring alternate options as the coalition has failed to reach an agreement so far. The Prime Minister Deuba has also requested the former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to cooperate with him in the parliament. Now, the United States has scaled up pressure on the Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba to decide on the initiation of the MCC before the 28th of February. If a decision is not taken by the set deadline, then an MCC board meeting scheduled in the month of March is likely to withdraw the project. Now, if the coalition were to break, then there is a possibility of a reunification of the communist forces. So for Prime Minister Deuba right now, it all boils down to the numbers game in the parliament. The total members of the parliament are 275, with 4 members having been suspended. The magic number for Prime Minister Deuba is 136. The question, of course, is can he get all of these numbers on board? And our correspondent Saloni Murarka has been tracking the story very closely for us and has sent us this report from Kathmandu. Take a look.
The five-party ruling coalition is on a brink of collapse. The 28th February deadline to ratify the MCC compact in the parliament looms. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba is determined to at least table the compact in the parliament, while his coalition partners, especially the communist parties, have been very reluctant to do so and have even threatened to leave the government if it is tabled without making the required amendments, according to them. Sher Bahadur Deuba, as he has failed to reach consensus within the coalition government, he is seeking support from his opposition, CPN UML leader KP Sharma Oli. He has held meetings with them to help him table the compact in the parliament. Prime Minister Deuba on multiple times has reiterated that this compact is in favor of the nation and will take this further even if it means a split in his coalition government. Saloni Murarka for WION World is One in Kathmandu, Nepal.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.